Okay, I am going to show you, this is now, I promise this is the last one for the day, but I am going to show you now how I do a gold find run. I accidentally clicked an experience pot, so that'll be running during this. Don't worry about that, you usually won't do it. Okay, so I equip my gold find gear, which includes my 2 item find rings. I'm hoping to increase them eventually. Not likely to happen this go around, but that's fine. My other 3 pieces of jewelry have plus 30% additional gold. Some people think you'd rather just have everything on gold. I think having the extra items is good because you also have it gives you a better chance of dropping item find pots, as well as other things you may need, as well, just as importantly, as well as items. Like sword, shields, I mean that's type of stuff which sell for much better than what your average drop will give you. Gold drop. Okay. So now I'm equipped with my item find gear. We are going to go run. I run this in Adamar's dungeon. Seems to be the best bang for your buck. Agreed amongst everybody. Okay. Now when I do my gold find, I break every pot and everything else like this. Now when you're playing with other people, which generally you should do when you're doing a gold find, you shouldn't really be soloing these if you can help it, because you'll get an extra 25% gold and item find. It's a significant amount. If you do a Queen's Blessing run, that does the same thing. It's 25% experience additional if you can find people who know how to do it. If they don't know how to do it, it'll actually hinder you. Okay, so I come down here and I grab those 3 things first. I come over here and I immediately take out the flag bearer. It doesn't matter what he's doing. I pick up whatever gold's there, and then I take out these 2 barrels. Okay, pick up anything they may drop. Sometimes you have to come back and hit it. All right, and then I keep going. I don't worry about killing any of the other enemies yet. I come up here, grab these guys. Come over here, get these guys going. Specifically that guy, and if these enemies are still there, I come down and get them too. Okay. Now, your order of how you kill these enemies does not matter really, except you want to leave your Shroud Reanimator alone until he raises his last guys, which are those guys right up in that corner there. Because more enemies you kill, because those enemies you kill also give you golden experience as well. That once he's reanimated, so gives you more chances for more stuff to drop. Okay, kill all the enemies here, gather all the gold and items. Okay, come over here, destroy the barrels. Now, if you have a wizard or archer, this may actually go quicker if you've built them up right, because you don't have to get up close and personal with the barrels to destroy them. Also, if you have a knight with the shield throw. I use a knight with dual wields. I don't know if shield throw works with that, okay? So I free the prisoners there. Alright, come down here, do a quick run around here. Now, in that upper area that I just came from, if you're doing it with 1 or more people, you guys, 1 person goes down, kills a flag bearer, everybody else gathers up to where I killed the guys before. You gather everybody there. Everybody needs to stay close for all the enemies, all the gold drops and everything to count for everybody. Here, if you're doing it by yourself, you run around that circle like that I just did. If not, your fastest person does that circle that I just did and starts killing enemies in there. You'll be close enough for the gold drops to count. Okay. Another person should actually run up and gather the enemies up by the flag bearer and bring them down as well. If you have a 3rd person in your party. Okay. Now, at this point, 1 person should. Everybody should gather their items, and then once you've done so, 1 person should actually pop these guys, if you're by yourself, and then everybody should follow this same basic route. You guys got to stay fairly close together for the golds to drop for everybody. So you come around here, take out these barrels, okay, and then you come through here. Now you can play leapfrog on this one. 1 person can drop these guys, and the next person can get these guys, and the 3rd person can come up to these guys, and so on and so forth until you've cleared all the enemies here. And grab these last 3 barrels. Okay. Now, if you're playing with 3 people, these next enemies should have already been dragged down into the battle and should be gone. If you're playing with just 2, you'll have to deal with the flag bearer. If you're playing by yourself, just kill the dragon statues and only kill the enemies you need to, so you can pick up items or gold and keep going. Again, you're looking at to save time here. Kill these barrels up here. Statues. Now everybody should still stay pretty close together. At this point, I take out the dragon statues on the way down, but if you're playing with another party, leave them alone, and then come down here and start taking out these enemies. Again, you want to leave the Shroud Reanimator alone until he gets his last enemies revived. At which point, which is where he's going to right now. You see him down in the left corner over here. He just revived his last enemies. Come down here, now you can finally kill him. Again, for the same reason as last time, you want him to resurrect those enemies that he resurrects, because that's additional gold and item drops. Okay, come back up here, gather those things over here. Now, one person can come down here and take these out if you're in a group. If you're by yourself, you got to do it yourself, of course. But one person can come down here, take these out. The other two can stand here, wait till it goes, and then collect them after that one person's taken them out. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to explain to you how you run this area up here, because a lot of people don't know how to run it, and this is or at least run it the way I do. Anyhow. Okay. At this point, if you're by yourself, I will show you here in a second. But if you're with a group, one person runs up to the left here, one person runs up to the right. The person that runs to the right also runs down the path toward the Blood Fiend and picks up everybody up to the Undead Knight to the right, and brings them all back up to where this path, and this path meet in the center up to the right over here. Okay? If you're running by yourself, head to the left and start dragging the enemies. I'm avoiding these things for now, and there's a reason, okay? And then bring it by yourself. This is solo go fighting here. Okay? Now, take out your enemies, the dragon statues, leave the Shroud Reanimator alone until he gets his last guys resurrected, which he just did. Again, for the same reason as you did the other two, you want those enemies resurrected because it's more gold and more item drops. Okay, take out the dragon statues here. Alright, this is the area you want everybody to meet. Now, if you're running a 2 or 3 person party, this is where you want everybody to meet. Okay? Do not start killing the enemies until everybody's met here, otherwise people will miss out on gold and items. Okay, so, alright, now single player, I'll run this back here. Dual player, one person can run here, one person can run down the center. Just even avoid these altogether. If you're running with a party, avoiding these altogether is a much better strategy, because it's more worth it just to head straight to the boss at this point, because you'll have everything cleared to that point. Actually, you just all manage to run down together, take out that, and then if you're running solo, or if you're running with a group, these enemies should be gone. So you take those two and those barrels up there. If you're running solo, I like to come through here. If you're running with this knight, I throw down Angelic Thorn to avoid those big axe enemies from knocking me down. Saradin the Bloodfiend doesn't knock me down nearly as much as those guys do, as the pullback from here, the Deathbringers. Okay. At this point, if you're with a group, you will have killed Saradin, and you have nothing else to do because you already have collected the items behind you. So at this point, everybody collects their items and heads back to town. Okay. If you're running solo, you actually want to head back and collect the items from the dragon statues here. Okay. And here. Alrighty. Up here, you'll have a few spiders. Come up here, destroy them. If I ever get a good group going when I do this run, I will show you what we're talking about on Gold Find. It goes significantly quicker, especially if they know what they're doing. If they don't know what they're doing, like I said, get out of that group if you're doing Gold Find, because it just you do better on your own. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how you do the run. This portion here, every other part I could talk about. I'm actually going to start from the beginning and show you how each person would do the run here. Since there's no enemies, it makes it a little easier. Okay. So I'm heading back to the beginning. Okay, there are no enemies, so we don't need to worry about that, alright? Okay. This is how you want to run it, alright? Okay. Right here. The first person that spawns and is into the map can come down here and take out these barrels here. That's still close enough for everybody to get the items. Once everybody's entered the map, two people come down here. One takes out the barrels, the other takes out the flag bearer. The third person runs up the center. Okay, you come around here, grab these enemies here, and drag them over to here. At which point you should meet your group. You should have the rest of the group here. You start killing indiscriminately. Okay, if you're the second or third person, run up here and gum up here. Again, don't start killing the enemies until all three of you are in this area again, because item and gold find is about 1.5 screen lengths away from you. Okay, at this point you can take out those two barrels, pick up those two guys, take out these two barrels, and pick up these two guys. That's round one with the group. Now you come down here to the bottom of the stairs. Your fastest person, which you'll know by this time, comes down here and does this round. Picks up these guys, or not, and all these guys. Okay. Now, once he gets around to here, you guys can start killing. Once he starts skimming around that drag, then you drag him to the center here. Person 2 and 3, actually better yet, persons 2 and 3 run this way. Okay. Persons 2 comes up here, grabs all these enemies that are by the flag bearer and brings them back to the center. Person 3 comes around this way, grabs these enemies. Alright? And once you meet up with person 1 coming this way, then you all meet up in the center. Once you all three get up in the center, start killing the enemies. Okay. Alright, one person, during the enemy kills, takes out these two guys, picks these guys up, drops the gold. Alright, enemies are dead. All three of you need to make this run for it to work. Okay, take out the barrels. Alright. Leapfrog here. One person takes this guy, another person takes this guy, another person takes that guy, and so on and so forth. You can actually, if you do this right, you'll actually pretty much run through there. Now if you're in a group of 2, okay, the second person comes up here, grabs these enemies, and grabs these enemies here. The second person comes back down and goes this way and meets person 1. At which point you guys can take out the enemies pretty much wherever you see fit. Okay. Once that's done, everybody comes up here, takes out the dragon statues as you go through, as well as the boxes here and this final dragon statue. Okay, fastest person runs down here. Last person can take out the dragon statues as he comes through, but he does not try to take out any enemies. Okay, fastest person comes down here, gets everybody going, and starts taking out enemies. Again, there's a Shroud Reanimator here. Wait until he gets to this area right here and resurrects his last enemies before you finally take him out. Okay, now, person with a long-range attack goes down here and takes out these barrels. Just one of your group. Okay? The other 2 can wait here for him to take him out to pick up all the items. Alright. Once you've all regathered, the fastest person, actually, let's rephrase that. The fastest person goes to the right. The same person that went up by the barrels to pick up the spiders at the second stop. This person here will come to the right, pick up those enemies, and start picking up all these enemies. Comes down to here, bitch slaps the undead giant just to make sure he follows, and comes back this way, comes to the right, picks up the spiders, and comes to the center here. That's fastest person. Okay. Your slowest or weakest person comes right up the center. If you're running a 3-person party, if you're running a 2-person party, this path is ignored. Okay. The third person comes up the center and stops here. your next person comes out here. This is why you don't want to use the weakest, because you got these undead knights who can really wreak havoc. So your second person, the slowest of a two-person party, or your strongest of the next two from the fastest, comes up here and brings up all these guys. Brings them up through here and meets in here. Once all three of you can see each other on screen, then you start killing the enemies. There's another Shroud Reanimator. Try to avoid killing him until he stops here and resurrects his last group of enemies. Believe me, there'll be plenty of enemies to go around. You're not going to be worried about slowing. Okay. Finally, your fastest person can probably take out these barrels and get some extra gold. The other two need to come down here, take out the barrels here. About this time, your fastest guy probably should be meeting you here. Rescue those two barrels here, and barrels here. Okay, then you take out the dragon statues. The two here, one here, two here. Okay, at this time the only enemy left in the dungeon is Shard and the Bloodfiend if you're running a multiplayer party. Once you take him out, you guys take him out, clean up your items, and immediately end the level. Don't sit there in the thing and come back. Now, it's not as important if nobody has item find, but if somebody's running item find, especially if you're running a group item find, you want to get through the dungeon as fast as possible and then come back here. Come back to town, because once you're in town, the timer on the pot stops. At this time, everybody has a little bit of time to go in here, rearrange their inventory, and sell their items that they picked up. Okay, again, if you like what you see, please subscribe to me at 4x11gd on twitch.tv and on YouTube, or you can also follow me on Twitter at 4x11gd. That's FOURX, the numbers 11 GD. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.